Okay, just a brief tip video here for the first aorist and second aorist forms, active and middle. The passive actually has its own tense formative. So these are only for the active in the middle at this point. And just a note here at the top, the first aorist has a tense formative, and it uses a different stem, but that's nothing to be concerned about. If you know the tense formative, and you also know that something happens to the root or the stem of a verb in the aorist forms, then that's the first big key to unlocking the form and being able to establish and figure out what it is. So first aorist form has a tense formative. Second aorist, you can tell by the stem. And what I mean by that is right here. So this comes from lambano, but the form first singular, elaban, it's first plural here, elabamen, down here on our chart. So it means we took, and you can translate aorist, think of it for now as sort of a simple past tense idea. There's a lot more to it than that, but if you just say, I took, he went, I threw, that works. So we'll simplify it as much as possible for now. And note that the root changes. It goes from lambano to lab, in which case recognizing the root, memorizing the root is very important. Lab sounds very similar, looks similar enough to lambano. But nonetheless, in these forms, the second aorist form, the root changes. These are easier to recognize, and that's why Mount starts with the second aorist as opposed to the first. But let's move into the first aorist form. And you'll note that you already know the endings of all of these. And now with these aorist, first aorist forms, we have what's called the aorist active tense stem, but you'll notice that you're looking at basically the present tense stem of the word. So several keys here. The aorist always has an augment. I didn't point that out up above, but it always has an augment. And here, you know, because of this, saw, it becomes sen here, but it's still present. And then we have saw, men, saw, te, saw, ne. So that's the biggest way, the tense formative. So know that the aorist forms always augment. One of them has a tense formative, but if it does not have a tense formative, then the tense stem is going to change. Now, with the first aorist form, these are a little bit more difficult to recognize from the imperfect because the imperfect also has an augment, also uses what looks like, that truly is present tense form, but that looks the same. And so you can tell a first aorist from an imperfect because of the tense formative.